Okay, well, it looks like we've got a decent number of attendees on the call already, so that's good. And we're going to be starting up now. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to our Insider Live webinar in which we unveil a new system that's generated more than $751,000 this year alone. And we're going to tell you how you can do it too. We're glad you're here for the ride, as I'll be giving you an insider sneak peek on how it all works and showing you verified proof as well. My name is Alex, and I'm part of Zcode Tech. I also handle support along with Annie, Emily, and others. The main presentation in this webinar will be for a duration of approximately 30 minutes or so, after which we'll have a brief Q&A session at the end of the webinar to address your queries about our latest software that we have on offer. So this webinar is going to be recorded and made available later on our website as well, and so don't worry if you miss anything during the session. Okay, so I'm guessing at this point in time, you're all wondering what is this new insider system that generated almost $752,000 for us this year and how you can do it too. So let's get started. I'm going to be showing you a sneak peek into our new latest development. It's our latest cool new software called Zcode Automated SportsTrader, which is the very latest in cutting-edge sports betting technology, allowing people who have no clue about sports to legally make profits like we did up to $752,000 and more. Now, our SportsTrader is an app that allows you to automatically bet sports on complete autopilot without any need to manually analyze sports at all. So basically, you could use it even if you've never placed a single bet in your life. It's fully legal and it works, and I'll be showing you the proof in a moment as well. Now, our development team called ZLab has been hard at work to create the SportsTrader app just for you, to help you easily gain great profits from sports betting. And the best part is, you don't really need to know much about sports either. This app is great for newbies, people who are brand new to sports betting, as well as for the more experienced ones. Like, we have a lot of advanced sports betting experts on board. And the best part about this software is that it has massive profit-making potential. So let's take a look at the kind of profits you could have earned with our SportsTrader software. Now, if you had software and if you had consistently followed every single sports pick that our software had selected for you, you could have earned $2.6 million over the past 3 years. And yes, that's in $1 million, not just thousands or hundred thousands. And if you're interested in shorter term profits, then here's what you could have earned by following all of our SportsTrader recommendations. That's 1.625 million over the past year alone, not 3 years. That's just in the past year. So think about it. What could you do if you had an extra $1 or $2 million in your bank account a year from now? I'll let you ponder on that for a second there. And by the way, these numbers are fully verified by our third-party monitoring services like BetDog and BetVerify. So those of you who know a little bit about sports will know that these guys are like third-party monitoring services, and they're the ones who validate our accounts as well. And another thing is that we will be having links to these verified results on our SportsTrader webpage as well, so you'll be able to see that later. Okay, so you must be wondering now, how can I achieve such profit figures and all of that from sports betting alone? So first off, what I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about our philosophy or approach to sports betting. You see, we don't look at it as gambling. We don't look at it at all that way. We see it as an investment opportunity. And as a result, we trade on sports. We don't gamble. And the only way you can grow your bank balance reliably is to do so with a statistical winning edge. And that's where our new SportsTrader comes in. Now, I'm sure there must be many of you who've been around the block trying to earn profits from this highly lucrative sports betting world. But the problem is that you've been jumping from one system to another or following self-proclaimed sports gurus who only lead you and your account into into a spiral of losses. I'm sure there are lots of you who have faced that before. So you must be wondering, how is SportsTrader any different? Well, the beauty of the software is that it takes away all human emotion and subjectivity from the equation, and it delivers its betting recommendations based purely on math and statistics alone. And thanks to our VIP members who support and fund our developments, we are actually fortunate to have powerful programming resources, which helped us to develop one of the most powerful and accurate sports trading engines that anyone has ever seen. And not only does SportsTrader have over 80 plus parameters in its winning formula, but it also has live access to major sports betting odds, statistics, and last-minute line moves, all of which gives us the ability to actually go back in time and see what could if we had applied this system on historical data. So that makes our systems proven and fully back-tested on historical sports data. That gives us an edge there, as well as with live money bets on forward tests, which means we leave no room for luck or chance. And that's the whole idea here. We want to take away the entire, the idea of human emotion and subjectivity from it all, so that you don't have any chance to make a mistake as you go along with this. And we've also gone ahead and made this as simple as possible. So, let's talk about the software itself. What is Z-Code SportsTrader and what can it do for you? Now, imagine if you had a fully automated sports betting robot that has access to more than 200 plus winning systems inbuilt, available at the click of a button. And each of these systems has several profitable trends that can be applied to multiple sports. And just so you know, so you understand the term here, basically each trend is an automated subsystem in itself, grouped together under the common name of the main system that it belongs to. So let's say, for example, we have systems like, one of the most popular systems we have is called Eddy's system, and it has many subsystems and trends. And like I was saying, a trend is basically like a subset of a sports betting system that generates profitable picks based on specific settings that are applicable to that sport and system. But the best part is, you don't need to know anything about the details of either the system or the sport. Okay? So even if you're a total newbie, if you're like, you have absolutely no idea about sports at all, the software does the thinking for you. You don't have to worry about having to look into or manually analyze any of the settings required for these systems. Excuse me. So the robot selections are fully automated, and you don't need to analyze anything yourself. All you're required to do is click your mouse a few times, choose the sports and trends you like or you prefer, and not only does the app calculate all the stats and probabilities for you, but also gives you the exact picks you need to place to win, along with the precise unit sizes as well. So all you have to do is simply place the suggested bets. That's the bets which SportsTrader will spit out for you. Okay, it's going to conveniently hand it over to you on a platter and say, here, take it. This is what you need to go ahead and place a bet on. And that's about it. You just have to place those suggested bets at our recommended bookies. And that just about takes, say about 5 to 10 minutes per day. And it doesn't get any easier than that. And besides being user-friendly, the software is also fully transparent. You can see the past performance of your chosen systems and trends. And for example, let's take a look at this list of systems and their recent performances. So over here, what you have is you've got the name of the system and its corresponding trend. Then you have this column over here, which gives you the ROI percentage. That's the return on investment. And that's going to give you an idea of how much profit you can earn based on the principle of your betting back. Okay. And right next to that, you've got the average deviation percentage. Now, this is a measure of performance. Okay, so the lower the value over here, the better the system performance and the smoother the profit graph for that specific trend. And you can see these graphs over here, the corresponding graphs for each of the trends listed here. And yeah, so in these last two columns, they show the profits obtained over the past 3 months, as well as since the inception of the system itself. And if you're curious to know, all of these profit figures can be easily obtained from the systems, assuming that you're trading at about $100 per unit, because that's the stake size that we use on our own accounts as well. If you want to be able to reach huge profits like, the profits that I showed you earlier, 2.6 and $1.625 million, okay, you have to be willing to bet that much. But even otherwise, we do have the option for you to be able to bet with smaller stake sizes as well, and I'll get to that as well. I'll explain that to you in a bit. Now, besides all the benefits we mentioned, you can even develop your own systems, okay? And this is a big deal, especially if you're an expert in the sports of your preference, or if you're the type who's inclined to create your own betting trends. All of these features and more are included in our SportsTrader. Okay? All right, so if you're as excited as we are, the first thing you need to do is to sign up for your trial through this link over here. And that's zcodesystem.com/SportsTrader. Okay? Once you get to that page, you'll see the various options available to you, and you can easily sign up for the 3-day trial. And once you've signed up, the first thing you need to do is directly download and install the software, which has been made available for installation on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Okay? And the best part is that it can even work as a web-based app inside of your browser. Say, for example, if you don't have any of these operating systems, or if you prefer to work on your cell phone or on your tablet, you can easily run SportsTrader as a web-based app as well. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a minute for you to quickly go to that link. If you guys, want to just take that link, paste that into your browser, quickly check out the page, and then we'll go forward. Just give me a minute here. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys have already checked out the SportsTrader web page, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you, once you go through having to sign up for the trial, all you'll have to do is download and install the software, and once you've got it installed, you just have to double-click the SportsTrader icon and simply log in with your new trial credentials. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Give me a moment here. All right. So once you've logged in, this is what you're going to be looking at. This is our SportsTrader, our brand new app, and we're immensely proud of what we've accomplished with this software, because it's the kind of cutting-edge technology, the cutting-edge software that a lot of sports bettor would kill for. Okay, it makes it so easy and so convenient for you to basically choose the sports and all the various systems and trends, and all you have to do is just simply place the bets that it recommends to you. So I'm going to be taking you through the software. I'm going to be showing it to you live here. So like I said, once you log in, you're going to see this the screen in front of you. Okay, and one of the things that you'll notice over here is that it gives you a few steps over here. on the right-hand side. You can go through this once you've logged into the software. I'm going to be taking you through those steps as well. The second thing that you should pay attention to is how the software is segregated. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have these four selector sections. Okay, I'm going to be scrolling down here so you can see how this looks. All right. So we have the sports selector, the system selector, and the trend selector. There's one nifty little gadget over here called the portfolio advisor, and I'm going to be explaining each of these sections to you as we go along. Besides the selector sections, we also have these profit charts on the right-hand side. Okay, and depending on the systems that you choose over here, these charts will change accordingly to show you the kind of profits you could have earned over the past few years, depending on the various time frames, of course. Okay, so let's go through this. All right, so now for another thing I should mention is besides this, these two graphs over here, what you notice is that this graph in the center shows you what you could have earned if you followed all the 200 plus active systems and trends available inside of SportsTrader. So like I mentioned earlier, SportsTrader comes inbuilt with 200 more systems and trends. And assuming you start with a decent sized bank of approximately, say, $1,000 to $2,000, and if you're placing bets at $100 per unit, you would have made $2.6 million over the past 3 years, just like we mentioned earlier. And if you'd like to take a look at shorter term profits, all you have to do is click these buttons over here at the bottom just to change the time frame. So this shows what it looks like over 3 years, the past 3 years. And if you want to see what it looks like over the past year, that's how it is. So you can change the time frames and then switch back, and it gives you an idea of what all of these system trends could have earned for you. All right, and these are huge profits. They can be yours if you can follow our SportsTrader selections dedicatedly. Now, even if you don't have $2,000 at the moment, no worries. We have this handy little portfolio advisor section that I was telling you about earlier, and that's what's going to help you to select the best unit size based on your available bank. Okay, so if you don't have $2,000, that's fine, that's not a problem. I'll show you how you can edit this value and you can modify it, and it'll do the calculations for you. So there's absolutely nothing that you have to calculate yourself. Everything's done for you automatically. All right. Okay, now before I jump into showing you the actual selectors on the left-hand side, one of the first things that you have to pay attention to, obviously, for you to be able to place bets, you need to first have a bookmaker account. Okay, and we make it convenient for you to sign up and basically look through the various recommended bookmakers. So you'll see this in step 1 over here. It says open your bookie account with one of the recommended bookmakers, and if you click this, it shows you a full list of the various bookmakers that we recommend, out of which 5 Dimes and Bet365 are probably the most popular ones. And out of this bunch, you have 5 Dimes and Pinnacle. Even bookmaker.eu, they accept US clients. If you're not from the US, then Bet365 is a great option. Okay, so switching back to the SportsTrader itself. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Now we're going to take a look at the main selector sections I mentioned earlier. So the first box at the top left-hand side here, the sports selector, allows you to choose the sports which you prefer. And let's say, for example, even if you're brand new to the software, to sports, you don't really have to worry about choosing specific sports, right? If you're not particularly interested in any sports, or if you'd like to be able to gain maximum profits from all the available sports, just click this checkbox over here and make sure all of them are checked. Okay, it'll select all of them for you. So for now, let's just focus on a couple of sports. Say, for example, NFL, since we're going to be having NFL season starting soon. Um, MLB. So I'm going to be, unchecking a few of these sports. The ones which are off season don't matter anyway, so we can skip those as well. So yeah. All right. So these are my sports selections, just for demonstration purpose right now. And right below that, we have the system selector. Now, what you need to remember is that the systems, each of these systems are like, a bunch of rules, okay? And if if there are certain selections or settings that basically fit those rules, then the picks will fall under the selections of that particular system. And each system can have multiple trends within that system. Each of those trends can be highly profitable ones. And those are the ones that we're going to be showing here as well. So you'll notice that right next to each of these systems, you have this little gearbox, okay? So all you have to do is just simply click this gear symbol, and it'll come up uh, with this little pop-up box, and it gives you a whole boatload of information about that particular system and how it looks, all the various settings, all the various details about how much of profit it's made, etc. So you go through this entire thing. You don't the thing is, the thing that's great about SportsTrader is it doesn't really matter if you're an expert or not. This caters to both. If you're brand new to sports, or even if you're a highly experienced person who knows a lot about sports and would like to know more about the systems that you're investing in. Okay, so it gives you all the information that you could possibly ask for. Now, with each of these systems, again, you have like all these various trends under them. And I'm going to be going through that as well. So just give me a moment. And remember, this system selector section is where you're going to be seeing the comprehensive list of all the 200 plus systems and their corresponding trends, okay, which will be available for the sports which you selected above. So depending on the sports that you select, the corresponding systems and their trends will show up below. All right, so just keep that in mind. While you're selecting these systems, okay, let me just give you an example here. When you're manually selecting them, for example, what happens is, let's say I click Big Dog, and that gets pushed up to the top, right? So depending on the systems that you choose, all right, it gets pushed to the top. I'm going to be clicking a few of the well-known ones that we have as well. And in case you don't see it immediately, all you have to do is just simply scroll back to the top, and you'll see the list of systems that you specifically chose. So all you have to do is just scroll up a bit. Now, each of these systems is fully transparent and also allows you to analyze its past performance. And like I said, you can check out its past performances by clicking the small gear next to it. Now, as I explained earlier, excuse me, each system includes several trends that you can follow. So here in the trends selector, we're going to be taking a look at the available trends for the systems that we selected above here. Okay, and the first thing that you'll notice is you have these two drop-down boxes, which allows you to sort and choose trends according to the system type. And what I mean by the system type here is, say for example, you can sort the system type based on whether the system uses flat or fixed stakes. All right. Now there might be a few of you who prefer stick to systems that are only flat, which don't use any form of progressive staking. Right. Or if you prefer to use systems that do have progressions, which also allow for various complex recovery methods, and also for you to be able to make large profits in a short amount of time. That's what progressive staking allows you to do. So you can choose those kind of systems too. For now, I'm just going to select all systems because that will give us the maximum number of choices. And we're going to move on to the next dropdown, which is the profit method. So this allows you to select and sort out the list based on the profit method that you prefer. So, each of these systems, like say for example, if you only want the systems that give you the top profit, or the ones that give you the best return on investment, or the ones that have the best profit chart, or the best trust factor, all these are here as options for you to select. So for example, top profit, and you see these systems listed here, the trends rather, and I could select every single one of them simply by clicking this checkbox on the left-hand side. And the minute I do that, just notice here on the right-hand side, you immediately see active signals that have been pulled up for those trends, and also the profit chart on towards the right, okay, the rightmost profit chart. That's the one that changes according to the trends that you select. Okay, so you get to see this this visual graphical representation of how profitable all this entire combination of trends can be for you. All right. So I'm just going to choose all of them for now, and yeah. So like I said earlier, another thing is if you don't know much about sports, the main thing to remember is that you just have to keep one thing in mind. All right. Let's see. If you're new to sports and you don't care about the sports or the trends that you want to select, all right, then the only thing left for you to really pay attention to is having to manage your risk appropriately based on your bankroll. Okay, so obviously, if you have, let's say for example, only $200 or $500 to spare, then you don't want to have to. I mean, you're not going to be making bets that are staked at about $100 per unit, because that's going to be insane. Okay, you don't. If you were to have a loss, then you'd lose a sizable chunk of your betting bank, and we don't want that. We want you to be able to bet responsibly. We want you to be able to place these bets in such a way that it does not impact your betting bank in a wrong way at all. Okay, negatively. So the whole idea is for you to be able to earn profits, and for you to be able to stack those profits as you go along. And that's where our Profit Advisor tool comes in handy. This will basically help you create your own portfolio of sports systems based on your budget and the unit size that you can afford. Okay? So what you see over here is a simplified tool of the full Portfolio Advisor, which I'll be showing you in a bit. But just to get started, this simplified tool allows you to do quick calculations based on the initial value of either your preferred unit size, that's how much you're willing to risk per bet, or your bank balance, as you can see here. So you have these two options here, the unit size as well as the bankroll. Now, if you prefer to calculate it based on the unit size, all you have to do is just click over here, and then you can edit the unit size. Let's say, for example, maybe you're comfortable with $20 per unit. Okay, and as soon as you do that, it automatically does the calculations based on not only your unit size, but also the entire list of trends that we selected. Now, if that seems like it's a huge amount, that's because we've got all of the trends selected at the moment. So let me uncheck some of these and maybe just click a few so you get an idea of what it's like. All right, and when you scroll down here, you see it comes to a point where it's a little more manageable. You don't have to, like I'm saying, you can choose to either modify this unit size, or you could even go ahead and choose to modify it based on the bankroll that you have available. So let's say you have $500 to spare. That's what you're willing to invest in completely in total. So when you click OK, it does the calculation for you, and it makes things very convenient. Now, this is just a very nifty, handy tool to have for you to figure out what your unit sizes should be based on the systems and trends that you selected above. But if you really want to see the full power of the Portfolio Advisor, to fully appreciate it, what you should do is click here to launch the Portfolio Advisor in full. Okay. Now, here what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be, the Portfolio Advisor basically wants to find out, what would be the best combination of settings and system trends that it can select for you based on your preferences. Okay, And the way it does that is with this bunch of questions that we're going to be going through. All right. So first off, I'm going to be taking you through these various questions, and we'll take a look at also the available options one by one. So first of all, which sports do you follow? Okay. Now, if you're the type, like say for example, you're new to sports or you don't particularly have any preferences, you could simply select this, and that'll collapse the list of sports that you have available. So what it says here is that the sports does not matter to me. All I care about is profit. So pick any sports for maximum profits. When you do this, that's as good as selecting all the sports in the background over here. Otherwise, if you're the type who prefers to follow only specific sports, then you select this, and then you can also go ahead and manually choose, the sports that you have a preference for. So let's say I'm going to just select these ones for now and move on to the next question. So the very next thing that it needs to know is, what's the kind of risk tolerance you have as a bettor, okay? So choose your profit expectations and risk tolerance. If you're the conservative type, it says, I'd like to have low risk but conservative returns. You could select conservative. And the moment you do this, what you'll also notice is if you scroll down, there's this table over here where it dynamically changes the combination of systems and trends that the portfolio advisor will recommend to you. Okay? And along with that, it even shows you a graph of what that combination of systems will look like. All right, so let's coming back to these options. Besides conservative, I could even stick to, I could play around with the middle ground. I can say standard. I expect solid returns, and I can take some risk. Or if you're the type who doesn't mind going in full, you can choose the aggressive option, saying I want the fastest and biggest profits, and I can handle high risk. Okay, so those of you who are the aggressive type will love this option. Next one is the frequency of bets. How often do you want to bet? Okay, minimum if you're the busy type and prefer to have just the lowest amount of bets to place. Regular if you're fine with placing more bets for more profits, and of course maximum again if you're the type who wants to get maximum profits and you don't mind placing a high frequency of bets. Okay, you can place a lot of bets with no issues at all. But just remember that the more bets you place in a day, of course, obviously you will also need to have a correspondingly higher bank balance, so just keep that in mind, right? These settings you choose should always take into consideration the kind of bank balance that you have, and that's also, interestingly enough, that's also been programmed into the portfolio advisor because it takes the that you had typed in earlier. It takes that into consideration and then modifies the unit size for you accordingly. All right, and the last option it has over here is the timing of the picks. Okay, what you have to remember is that SportsTrader is going to automatically come up with the entire selection of picks for you, but you are the one who's going to have to place those bets. So you're obviously going to have to choose, the best time for you to be able to do so. Now, if you're very flexible and the timing does not matter to you, that basically allows you to have maximum profits as well. So you don't mind receiving all the picks from all the systems and trends that SportsTrader chooses for you. If you say you're okay with any timing, but don't choose systems that place bets closer than 30 minutes before the game start. And the reason why this option is given here is because there are times, obviously, when, of course, you'd want to be able to place the bets at a time when the odds are slightly better, because the closer and closer it gets to the game, you'll notice that, especially with the favorites, the odds tend to drop. Okay, and that's something that you'll start to see once you place these bets yourself. And for the last option, if it says I'm very busy and I would only like to follow systems that give bets at least 1 hour before the game start. Okay, so as you can see here, the portfolio advisor gives you a lot of flexibility. It takes into consideration all your limitations as a bettor. Okay, so all you have to do is plug in the sports that you prefer, choose your risk tolerance, the frequency of bets, and what kind of timings you prefer. And finally, okay, once you've gone ahead and chosen all your preferences, all you have to do is click calculate my recommended portfolio. And the moment you do so, the advisor will calculate all the stats based on the sports and settings you chose above. And what it does is it basically chooses an optimized combination of the best systems and trends that suit your preferences. And you can see the list of all its chosen systems over here. And like I said, if you scroll down further, you'll also see the recommended betting bank size for that specified unit size. So with this combination of trends that we selected based on the preferences that I chose above, okay, it's what the portfolio advisor is showing me is that with my unit size of only $20, I only need $320 to be able to take full advantage of all of these trends. And then that's a pretty decent bank size. So it's not something that most people would spend over. Okay. All right. So and well, basically, I just wanted to show you how all of these. Once you scroll through this entire thing with the portfolio advisor, you'll also notice the changes in the graph as well. Okay. So when you're finally done with calculating the recommended portfolio, okay, so what it's showing you right now is just a snapshot of what what the best optimized portfolio should be. Okay, and if it looks good to you, then all you have to do is click Apply Portfolio here at the bottom. Or if you don't like the way it looks, what you could also do is change your settings. Let's say, for example, I want to have the maximum number of bets, and I'm saying I'm very flexible, just for demonstration purposes. I calculate the recommended portfolio, the table changes. Okay, now obviously because of the fact that I said I'm okay with a higher number of bets, the bank size increases a little bit more. But you also notice how the graph is improved here. Okay, and I'm happy with this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply the portfolio. And the moment I do this, what the portfolio advisor does is it automatically takes that entire list of optimized systems and trends and applies it to the selector boxes here on the left-hand side. So as you can see, you'll immediately notice how all the selector boxes have been updated with your portfolio preferences, even the systems and trends chosen by the portfolio advisor. Okay, and if you notice, so have the graphs here at the side. Okay, you can see the top right chart is updated now, and it shows your personal portfolio chart. So if you follow these selected signals to the letter, okay, you will get exactly the same amazing profit chart that you see over here. And you have to admit, these aren't small profits; these are huge, and it's the kind of profits that a lot of people, like I said, would die for, would kill for. So that's all there is to it. I mean, when it comes down to the SportsTrader and the portfolio advisor, we think the way that we've programmed the portfolio advisor makes it so convenient and so easy for you, even if you're brand new to sports. Okay. That's basically what we aimed at. We try to make it as simple as possible for you as a Z-code sports trader. Now, all you have to do is after the trends, after the systems and the trends have been selected, whether you've done them manually yourself on the left-hand side, or if you use the portfolio advisor and applied the optimized portfolio to the settings over here, okay? What you're going to be noticing is, as we go through all of this, let me just show you what it looks like if I add a few more systems and trends. Okay, and you notice this little pop-up over here. Every time there is a new signal, okay, and you'll notice this active signals tab as well. Every time there is a new signal available to you from the trends that have been selected, okay, you will get that notification in the tray icon, as well as you'll hear it. You basically get the sound notification. Okay, so now all that's left to do is to check for the active signals before the start of the games. And like I was saying, as long as you have the software open, you'll receive real-time notifications in the tray next to the app icon. Okay, so we're taking a look at the active signals tab, which has this green dot over here, as well as the past signals listed over here. So obviously, the currently active selections that are available for the games or matches that have yet to start, okay, or if they're in progress, they're going to be listed here in actives, in the active section. Whereas the systems or games that have already been completed, or if those games are already over, they will be archived and moved into the past signals tab. Okay. So, and one thing that you should keep in mind is if there are certain sports that you have a preference for, you should probably acquaint yourself with the usual timings. Like say for example with MLB baseball, most of the games start around 7 p.m. EST. So if you've already missed out on some of those selections from the previous day, then you'll find them in the past signals tab. All right. But coming back to the active signals, each signal tells you the team to bet on, okay? The team, or let's say that particular player, the bet type, okay? And the odds over here, as well as the unit size. Now, remember, this is the unit size, 1.45. That multiplied by the unit size that was calculated over here for you, okay? You have $20, or basically the unit size that you selected, $20. So 20 into 1.45 is going to be 29. And like I said, you don't have to manually do any of these calculations for you. The software does it for you automatically. Okay? And it even tells you when the game starts. So all I have to do is simply take this entire recommendation, whatever's recommended over here, all of these bets that are recommended over here, and simply place the suggested bet at the bookie, and then you're ready to go. All right. So once you're done placing the bet at the bookmaker, to help you keep track of the bets you've already placed at the bookie, all you have to do is just click this checkbox over here, and that particular selection or pick will be grayed out. So that way you know you've already placed that bet. Okay, so like we constantly emphasize, SportsTrader is a complete no-brainer, and its selections are fully automated. So there's nothing to analyze or calculate. Plus, it gives you signals specifically tailored to your bankroll size. And of course, no system is a crystal ball. You will have some bumps and losing trades along the way, but that's normal. But as long as you follow each system consistently, okay, at the end of the day, if you follow each of the system bets that are recommended to you by SportsTrader, these are the kind of profits that you can earn at the end of the day. All right, so one thing that you will definitely see is you will come down to the point where you will be seeing solid results, and this is what your accounts could look like. Your personal bankroll should grow in the same way as our profit charts show here. Okay, and what I'd love to tell you is that the figure that you're seeing in front of you here is the profit from just one of our live accounts, and that's validated by BetVerify as well. What we want for you, okay, as a sports trader, is for you to be able to grow your account, and your account should look like this soon enough. That's what we're aiming for, and that's what we want you to have. So don't even think twice. I'm telling you, this kind of a tool is something that sports bettors have been waiting for a very, very long time. So what I suggest for you is to take advantage of this. Immediately head out to zcodesystem.com/sportstrader and sign up for the trial, download your copy immediately. Don't even wait for it. Okay? All right, so we're almost at the end of this webinar. What I want to do is I would like to quickly run through a few basic frequently asked questions that you may have in mind. All right. Um, just before I run through this, just give me a moment here and I'll be right with you. Okay. Okay, so let's go through these FAQs. Oh, so we got another new signal from SportsTrader. I wonder if you guys can see this. All right, so for a lot of you, you must be wondering, how easy is it to start with SportsTrader? If you remember, while I was taking you through the software itself, it listed out the first three basic steps that you should go through, and that's what I'm going to run through with you over here as well. The very first thing you need to do is make sure you open your bookie account with one of the recommended bookmakers, and I showed you how to do that in the software. Then open up your SportsTrader for the day and choose the sports and systems you want to follow. Okay? You could choose 2 to 3 really profitable trends and calculate your recommended bankroll and unit size. Now, once you've got all of that sorted out with the help of the portfolio advisor, then all you need to do is look at the active signals section at least 2 to 3 hours before the games, depending on whether your timings are flexible enough to allow you to do that, or if you're the type who prefers to check it out just say an hour or half an hour before the games. But obviously, these bets need to be placed before the games unless you're the type who prefers to do it in play. But that's something I would actually leave to the more experienced amongst you. So so take a look at the active signals before the games, and then place the recommended bet stake at your bookie. Okay, whatever is recommended inside of the SportsTrader. It shows you. Remember, I told you it shows you the team or the player to bet on. Okay, along with what is the exact bet type that you need to place your bet on, and the unit size. The unit size multiplied obviously by your the stake size. Let's say, for example, $10 or $20 or $50 or $100. Okay, whatever it is. It even gives you that exact value that you need to place at your bookie. So it takes away all of the calculations for you. I mean, it does it for you, and you don't have to do any of it manually. Okay, next up, what platforms does SportsTrader support? I've mentioned this earlier. It works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Plus, we even have a web-based version which works on iPhone, the iPad, Android. I mean, your cell phones basically, any cell phone or tablet that you could use to connect to the internet, and you shouldn't have any problem with running SportsTrader at all. So some of you must be wondering, and I mean, this is something that we've constantly reiterated. Is it fully automated? Do I need to analyze bets in games? Well, SportsTrader is fully automated. You don't have to do any of the manual analysis yourself. So like I said, every day, 2 to 3 hours before the games start, you choose the systems that you want, and SportsTrader makes all the necessary calculations across all the betting systems. It gives you the exact team you need to bet on, the exact bet type, the exact unit size, total no-brainer. Just place your bets, win, and then withdraw your profits. It's as easy as that. I mean, we couldn't have made it any simpler for you. Seriously. Okay. Now, some of you might be wondering, is this really for me? I don't know much about sports. Well, the great thing about SportsTrader is that you don't really need to know anything about the sports themselves to make profits with the software. And even if you don't have the time to analyze stats and probabilities yourself, the system gives you everything you need on autopilot. Okay, so yes, SportsTrader is for you, whether you are a newbie or whether you are an experienced bettor as well. It's a total no-brainer. Now, how can I choose which systems to follow? Like I showed you, inside of the software, you have the systems and the sports and system selectors. So we offer more than 200 winning systems inside of the platform. Each system comes with a detailed, transparent past performance and charts. It even helps you narrow down the search for the best systems We even offer the Portfolio Advisor tool, which I showed you, and that'll help you to quickly pick out the systems that fit your portfolio style or your betting style as a trader. And even your favorite sports, or the sports that are available to you according to your time zone. Now, are the profit figures that we showed you, are they proven? Do you have proof? Yes, we certainly do. The system is fully proven and is verified by third-party monitoring services such as BetVerify and BetDog. And like I mentioned earlier, you're going to be seeing the links to the verified proofs on our SportsTrader webpage. So you make sure you check that out as well. All right, lastly, now, if we all follow the same system, will it not be effective anymore? That's not going to happen because, like I said, we have over 200 winning systems on all the sports. So it's simply impossible for everyone to follow exactly the same system. So each user selects his own sports and systems he'd like to follow, and we don't see any problem with it at all because it's very likely that you're going to have people who will, mix and match, not necessarily choose all the sports, so it's not going to happen. I mean, the probability is highly unlikely. Now, for the ones who are more experienced, or for those of you who would like to really play around with building your own systems, can I create my own system with SportsTrader 2? Yes, absolutely. It comes with advanced features like our trend and performance creator for people who want to backtest and create their own sports systems too. Okay, and besides that, are the bonus tools, VIP forum, and experts wall included. Okay, what I have to mention to you is, signing up for SportsTrader, okay, essentially gives you access to not only the software, but also to our Z-Code VIP club area, and that's complete with the experts wall, where you have discussions with experts on our on board, and you'll even have access to our forum, as well as a whole host of bonus tools, all of which you can access from within the SportsTrader as well. And I'll quickly show you what that looks like over here. You'll see in SportsTrader, you have the SportsTrader tab, but right next to that, you have the VIP picks, you have the experts wall, the VIP forum, Z-Lab, top systems. I mean, you name it. We've got everything listed over here for you within the SportsTrader tab app itself. So all of this comes available to you the moment you sign up for SportsTrader. Go ahead and get your link, your trial, sign up for it, and we're going to be seeing you on the inside. We'd love to have you guys on the inside with us as sports traders. All right, so now that you've seen all that our latest app has to offer you, it's time for you to take action and join us at SportsTrader. For a small, reasonable monthly fee, you can get full access to our winning sports trading bot and follow our winning formula. And remember, we have a full guarantee as well. So no questions asked. You can cancel anytime. The system works great for hundreds of our successful Z-Code members, and I'm sure it'll help you as well to grow your bankroll and become a successful sports investor too. Okay? We want this for you. We want you to be able to make the same kind of profits that we showed you earlier. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the trial through this link, download our professional SportsTrader app, and start using our software for the best profits right away. Okay? And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot us an email to tech support at zcodesystem.com. We are available via email. You could reach us anytime during the day, and we will do our best to address any of the queries that you have regarding not only our SportsTrader, but even everything related to our Z-Code tools as well. Okay, so we've come to the end of the webinar, and if we want, we're going to go ahead and start off with the Q&A session. The question section is actually activated on the right-hand side, so you can type in your query into the question box. Please keep your questions brief and to the point. Mike and Emily and I are going to be we're going to try to answer your queries over here. We won't be able to answer everyone's questions, obviously, so we will be picking out the more pertinent ones and do our best to address them as well as we can. Okay? And like I said, if you ever face any issues with signing up for your trial or installing the SportsTrader software onto your system, just please contact us directly at our tech support address over here. That's techsupport@zcodesystem.com. Yeah. Do you guys see the chat section on the right-hand side? All right, so Blake, I don't know if I got the name right, Blake Waring, he has this question. Have you all figured out the best sports system combinations to follow in order to get the most profit within 3 months? Okay, Blake, so, like I was explaining to you, yes, see, the best combination of sports is available to you within SportsTrader. But again, it depends, entirely on how you choose the sports that you want to be able to trade on. Okay? I mean, it's so flexible. It either depends, you can choose all the sports that you prefer, or the best thing to do is simply use the portfolio advisor. Go ahead and plug in your preferences into that tool, and it'll help you choose the best combination of sports for you to bet on. Okay. I hope we've yeah. All right. Thank you, Blake, for that question. All right, let's take a look at a few more questions here. Are you guys able to see the chat section within the GoToWebinar application? All right. Looks like we've only got a few people here, but all right. Okay, guys, I guess we're just going to wrap this up for now. I don't see any other questions from other members, attendees on the list here. So yeah, we're just going to wrap this up. I just want to reiterate, for those of you who have any questions at all, please contact us at this email address. And also, if you have any general or billing related queries, please email support@zcodesystem.com. That's specifically for general support. All right. Thank you all very much for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time out to attend our webinar. And before I close, please don't forget to sign up for your SportsTrader trial through the link shown over here. We really hope you have a brilliant, profitable year in 2016 with our latest SportsTrader software. Take care, and we're going to be seeing you on the inside. Ciao for now.